What's good, Glam Gang? Welcome back. My name is Tehja and today we have another extra special video, even though it's months and months and months late. Today today I will be making and showing y'all how to make the classic Insta Baddie skirt. Just super easy, simple DIY, like literally a perfect beginner's sewing project, and it looks so freaking good, and it matches perfectly with the Dior tube top that I did last video. So if you'd like to know how to make your own If you'd like to know how to make your own Insta Baddie skirt super duper easy instead of shopping at Fashion Nova, then please keep on watching to the end of this video. So now we're going to do a quick, easy pattern for this Insta Baddie skirt. Stay with me, y'all, because this is really, really quick, and then we'll get to sewing. So first, I'm going to draw a vertical line, straight line down, and that will be our center front line. Then you're going to take your hip measurement and divide it by 4, and that will be your waist measurement, and you'll draw a perpendicular or horizontal line to measure out and mark out your waist measurement. Next, you're going to measure down 9 inches to mark your hip point. And then you are going to do the same thing you did to the waist measurement. Take your hip measurement, divide it by 4, and then draw it out perpendicular to the center front line. So for me, that's 9 inches. And then I'm going to measure down another 4 inches. It can be whatever point you want, but for me, it's 4 inches from the hip measurement, and that will be where the hem will be. And now, before I do that, I'm just kind of connecting the lines together to get the shape of the skirt. And then now I'm going to draw out my horizontal hemline. And it's just going to pretty much be around the same length of the hip line. And then I connected all the lines together, and that's pretty much our pattern. I'm just marking that the center front is on the fold. And then I'll add about 1/2 inch to the waist, on top of the waist, just to have a little extra seam allowance for the waistband that we'll add in. But that's pretty much it. I'm not going to add any other seam allowance because the fabric is super stretchy anyway. Close up, this is what the pattern should look like. So anyway, after we do all that and mark everything, we're going to cut it out and now cut that pattern out of our fabric. Okay, so I just take my pattern and I'm cutting out the pattern on the fabric on the fold, and I'm going to do that twice so we have a front and a back skirt piece. And I'm using a jersey knit fabric as well, just to let you know, and I'll link this exact fabric down below. And this is what the pattern piece should look like once you cut it out of the folded fabric, and you should have 2 pieces. So once you have both pieces, you're going to lie one piece on top of the other piece, and then we'll sew at the side seams at a 1/4 inch. And I'm going to be using a zigzag stitch on the sewing machine, and I believe I had to use tissue paper to help the fabric through the sewing machine this time around as well, so good luck with that. But in case y'all didn't know, you use tissue paper under your fabric when you push it through the sewing machine, so it's just like the fabric can go easier through the sewing machine, and then you just rip it off. Alright, so this is what the skirt should look like once you sew those 2 side seam pieces. After you sew, you're just going to cut the extra seam allowance off because you don't want any bulkiness with your skirt. Okay, so if you're in a rush, you can leave it just like this and it will be fine, but we came here to complete a full skirt, head to toe, completely finished. So now what we're going to do is start working on the waistband, and we'll be using a 1/2 inch elastic band. So what we're going to do around the top, the waist part of the skirt, is fold it about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch all the way around, but leaving a little bit of space over one of the seam allowances, so that, like, a little bit of a hole, so that you'll be able to fish the elastic through. So I finished pinning everything all around, and so what we're going to do is sew pretty much at that edge where, you know, the fold is, well, yeah, the raw edge, and try to sew as close as that to that as possible to create that tunnel for our elastic band. Also, when we're sewing, we're not going to sew all the way around. What we're going to do is sew around but make sure you have an open space so you can put the elastic through. And what I found that gives me the most success is that if I use an actual seam, and so I leave a little bit of space, don't sew here, and then don't sew here, and then so it'll give us a space to funnel our elastic through. And here I'm using a straight stitch for sewing the elastic, or like the elastic band tunnel or the waistband. Okay, so we finished sewing that, and so that's what that seam looks like. Now what we're going to do is take the elastic, and I'm going to measure out my waist size minus a half an inch. So mine will be 26 minus a half an inch, which will be 25.5. Measuring it out, 25.5 right here. And then I am going to funnel this elastic through this tunnel that we made. And how you do that is that you take a safety pin and hook it to one end of the elastic, and then you use that safety pin closed to fish it through that tunnel, and you just make your way all the way around until you get to the other side. So kind of like pop in like a 30-minute TV show, because it does take a hot minute to do. So be patient and be gentle and just make your way through. So once you get the other end of the elastic through and you're able to pull them both kind of through each hole that you have for the tunnel, you take both ends of the elastic and place one on top of the other, and well, take the safety pin off first, but place one on top of the other, and then you'll sew it together at a half an inch. So it looks like this. It looks like an actual skirt. There's two more steps we have to do, which are really, really simple. We first have to close up right here that we left the opening for the tunnel. So what you just do is kind of just fold the fabric down like we did everything else, pin it, and then just do a little stitch across just to finish it. So connect the stitch over here to the stitch over there. So once you close the elastic band tunnel, then we're going to hem the skirt, and that's literally the last thing you have to do. And it's pretty much the same way that we made the tunnel for the skirt. You do the exact same thing. You're just going to fold the raw edge of the skirt up a quarter inch and pin it, and then you'll sew it down towards the like raw edge of the hem of the skirt. Right, now you just sew all the way around, and then after you sew the hem down, and then that's pretty much it, that the skirt is finished. Now if you want to add like a little decoration to the skirt, you can. I think that's really cute, and that might be a future video. But after that, this is how the skirt came out. It's really cute, and it's really simple to do, and you can do it on all these different types of fabrics and prints, and it's literally the best project to do for a beginner sewer. So I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I hope you guys make your own skirt, and if you do, please tag me at TZ Season on Instagram so I can see your wonderful creations. Okay, so that is it for this video. Super easy, super simple. It's like literally the perfect beginner project for any sewer. And for this Insta Baddie skirt, you can use many different fabrics for this tutorial. I use stretch jersey knit stretch jersey knit fabric. You can also use nylon spandex. You can use scuba knit as well. It'll be a little bit thicker fabric, but you can do that as well. And then you can technically do latex, but that's a little bit harder to do, and it will require a little bit more finesse. So anyway, that is pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what other things you want me to teach y'all how to sew, because I know there's a lot of beginner sewers out there, or they're just wanting to know how to make a certain like outfit or look and just don't know how to go about it. So you can comment down below and let me know, and I will cook up a video for y'all. So anyway, as always, please love yourself, and I will see you next video. Mwah!